Hi, I'm Oses, and I'm excited to talk about the vision here at the Children's Center. So, welcome to this
My
conversation.
name is Luis Ramirez, and I'm the Chief of Services here at the Children's Center of the Antelope Valley.
My name is Michelle Cruz. I am the Operations Director at the Children's Center of the Antelope Valley.
About 37 years, 38 years ago, the vision of the Children's Center started as a response to a community, I would say a community crisis. We had the issue of child abuse and neglect. The numbers were very concerning. And so the ER doctors, the community leaders, and all these other people who are invested in our community wanted to do something about it to prevent child abuse and neglect. And that's how we started many years ago, and we have continued strong.
It's just a matter of a destiny that happens because we were in Time magazine. Antelope Valley was so popular because we were child abuse capital of the world. And I don't know if you guys know the movie or the series Breaking Bad, right? About the meth lab around the desert, those things. And we are the meth capital also because of the geographical location. Everybody was so like disarray or like disconnected for each other. And that's why there's a lot of children who are being neglected because a lot of our families that lives in Antelope Valley because the geographic spacing doesn't have the resources compared to LA, right? Even though we're LA County, we're kind of like this disconnected to LA. Everybody's there. You could just take a bus or walk, and the resource of family community center are there. But we didn't have that in Antelope Valley like 37 years ago, and hired a licensed clinical social worker and tried to at least deal with the mental and emotional abuse that
Aspects.
the medical professionals cannot provide.
That's right.
And I think that what we can relate back from 30 something years to now is what they wanted was the healing part of it,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
They were coming into the ER hospitals with bruises and all of that physical stuff that they could see, but then they were sending them back home, right? So the big message here is the healing component of it, of what can we do as businesses, as doctors, as a community to heal the children. And that's where the Children's Center, after 38 years, is still here standing, trying to heal every child as much as possible, right? Trying to connect to the children and the families of the AV.
And if I could add to that, I would say over the years, observing the needs, meeting these children and meeting the families caused the vision to even expand. So today, we're not just here to help heal. That's the main thing we do here. But we now decided it also makes sense to expand into prevention. If we educate families and we provide resources and linkages, then maybe we don't need to wait for the children to be abused in the first place. Let's do what we can to prevent and make sure the children are healthy and safe, and the parents feel supported. The resources are there, so we're doing everything from prevention to the treatment so that they can heal, recover, and become contributing members of our society. So we love the expanded vision, and we'll continue to work on that.
What made you think that we ended up here in ourselves being in this field, right? For me, as an immigrant, I came here in this country 30 something years ago, and not familiar with the domestic abuse, those things that, but I didn't know that I have traumatic experiences that happened to me, or what we call ACEs, that Kaiser is discovered NCDC
Correct.
since 1970s, and it's just amazing that how that ACEs connects to our mission, the adverse childhood experiences that individuals who suffers emotional neglect or traumatic uh, are most likely to have physical ailments or medical issues, become susceptible to cancer or hypertension and diabetes. It's just amazing that our job is so profound. And I'm so blessed that I ended up here and working with you guys, professional that have such good heart, and I think that keeps me going. And this is my community, right?
Absolutely.
And we see this new professionals coming in and making sure that the legacy of the founders continue to be applied, right? And continue to be that fire or that light continue. So it's impressive.
Yeah, I agree. We are that community. We were, we all experienced one form of, adverse childhood experience or the other. And now we know what it's called. Back then, we were just trying to survive. We all have our different stories. Myself, as an immigrant as well, um, coming into the US also about 30 years ago and trying to get on my feet, look for, whatever I could do to earn a living and take care of my children. And then in the process, going to school to be able to get a better job. And I wanted to do something that was meaningful, right? And as a mother, the more I got to learn about parent education and better ways of raising children, different from the way we were raised. As much as our parents loved us and wanted to do the best they could, I wanted to make, I wanted to improve on that. I wanted to do better for my children. And I wanted to help facilitate whatever I learned in the journey. So going back to school brought me through these doors, um, about 16, 17 years ago as a volunteer, as an intern who needed to do hours here. And I tell you, when I saw the mission of helping children heal, helping families get on their feet, I was like, where were these resources when I was raising my kids? Help somebody. I'm glad to be that answer to prayer because I believe that in our journeys, we all, or our families, prayed, called out for help, reached out, to whoever we could ask for help. But resources and information were limited. And today we're helping to facilitate that for more families to get access to information, to do better, and so that children will do well and we don't have to grieve. This society has grieved a lot. So I'm really excited about being a part of the healing journey of many people. Because in helping to heal people, I find my healing. Mm-hmm.
And I just think it continues to be an honor. We all have our different, um, how many years we've all been here.
Yes.
And when I started is when I started with them both together. So it's an honor to still be here with them and work alongside them. But coming in here, you get a different perspective. As a community member, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what the needs are. You're oblivious to it.
Yeah.
But when you start working on something like this, is when you really start connecting and wanting to do something different and wanting to be part of something different. Because, as you said, this is our community. Our children go here,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I want to make my community better in this role. So I feel like it's a once you're in here, it's a different calling. Like your perspectives, your values shift because now you're more community oriented because you see the needs that are out there, the healing that needs to happen, right? It can be maybe one of my son's friends, right? So you don't know when that can just be part of your life and it can happen, at any time. So whatever we can do to champion things around here, this is what it's about and what this mission is about.
And the good thing that propels us to do this job also is our community, such as our donors, our board members who are really from this community, and we really appreciate them, right? And the thing is that they also part of this big mission that we try to do for Antelope Valley. And besides our the professionals that work in here, our staff and our co-workers here, it's good to know that every time that we do a fundraising and some awareness out there in the community embraces it, and such as the small restaurants, the big corporations that are here also, and you could tell that they are champion for children and really support the children's center's mission.
I love how you expanded that to because we're coming from, for me, as a with a clinical background as a marriage, family, and child therapist. That was my background before I came into management and leadership here. Same with you.
Mhm.
I see that this mission is bigger than the specialty of
Yeah.
being a clinician.
Yeah.
This is something that everybody can get, wrap their arms around.
Mhm.
This is the village, so it takes a village, right? And so I'm curious. I'd love to hear from Michelle. We talk about it sometimes, but I would love to hear um, the way you talk, Dr. Lewis, about the donors who are saying, I want to do something, so here's my money.
Yes.
There are volunteers who come and say, I have some time, here's how I can help
Yes.
you. Some people bring
Even a dollar,
toys.
right?
Right.
That
Some,
helps
some,
Children's Center.
correct. Some bring toys, some bring food, restaurant supporters, there are different things. I would like if you could share with us and maybe those who are watching today, um, what is the role of people who are not clinicians? It's like, man, I would have helped, but I am not a therapist.
But they
I'm
can
not,
still be part of the
right?
mission.
But you have a background in business and administration. You found a role here. So it's not just clinicians who are here. Could you talk about how you feel like this is meaningful as a professional in your career?
So I think thinking when you graduate in your undergrad or your master's, you don't think that this is a good, not nonprofit.
Yeah.
That's not
Mhm.
what they promote. That's not what they sell at colleges, right? However, in coming in here as, hey, let me see this opportunity because it aligns with what I was already doing, right? But in a different field, I think that you can find different ways to expand your business or your accounting, right? Because it's we're even talking about accountants. We have accountants here
Yeah.
that are still for the mission,
Mhm.
or we have dedicated managers who maybe came with healthcare administration degrees because they wanted to go into a hospital setting, but now they're here and they see that once you come in here and you get touched by the different programs that we do, the different people that we help, the different success stories that we
Yeah.
see here,
Yeah.
I think that is what now you make your degree work for you, right?
Correct.
Now your degree is just 360 to this. You can be an accountant, you can be healthcare administration or public health is another thing too. Or a lot of them come in here with sociology degrees, or you have HR who's still, the backbone of creating the policies and procedures for us to be compliant. But the mission is what calls them, right? It shifts to that soft spot of I'm just not HR. It's
Yeah.
now I'm this. Now
Yeah.
I'm part of a bigger village, right? So I feel like different professionals can come in. We've seen from the reception medical assistants, right, all the way to the back to the therapists, but also we do get a lot of interns that are coming in here. They got in degrees maybe, or maybe they're doing their work in vocational, but now they're coming here to do their internship and now they like it because now it's like, oh wow, this is different, but I can still use my degree to it. Or LVNs, right?
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
that we have psychiatry
Correct.
also. So there's a lot for everybody here in this bucket of things, right? Of different professions. It's not just marriage family therapists that
And
can benefit.
And I'm just so thankful also for our partners such as LA County, those different departments such as DMH,
Yeah.
and
DCFS.
DCFS, JCOD,
Mhm.
and
Public health.
yes, public health, and some of the federal grants that we receive because it's taxpayers' money that were being utilized. The good thing about Children's Center that we're so transparent that we put our
Mhm.
services, our financials on our website. And the good thing about this children's center is that we are this little engine that could. We cannot compete with corporation. We're not a corporate. But the thing is, we're a legal entity. We're a lone legal entity or CBO, what they call community-based organization that really is the middle person that helps because we know our community sometimes due to the political landscape things that they don't trust the government those things, but I'm glad the county and the federal departments put us as the CBO in the middle to be trusted by the community so we could provide services, right? And for me, I as a taxpayer, I love that. And I think that's why I believe in the mission of some community-based organization except children's center. The more that we have resources here, the better. That's why we partner with different organizations such as Penny Lane, um, Children's Bureau, or All for Kids, right? And ABPH and those things, right?
Absolutely.
It's just nice to know that our family have those because we need each other. We're a community. No one is better than the other. But at the end of the day, what makes it unique, that's why I stayed here at the Human Center, is because we're a known entity and we're not a corporate. Nothing against corporate, but I like this type of mom and pops because we know that we're small but intimate, but we have this
Small,
mighty. Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
Yeah, big hearts, and we
yes.
know how to stretch our limited resources.
Mhm.
So, like you said, a big thank you and a big shout out to all our donors, our partners, private foundations,
Mhm.
individuals, county, federal, everyone that's helping us make things better for someone else. We feel good about helping to make things better. And I do want to expand a little bit on the vision here because I talked about how we started just healing children, which was huge, but we saw the need to expand and say, hey, let's do what we can to prevent. So children are not only met after something negative happens to them. Let's keep them safe where they are. Let's educate community and families to help them thrive. But beyond that, we found that there were times where some of the children within the periods where we were allowed to treat them may not be, they were not ready, if you will, to be open or to receive, depending on the kind of trauma. Funding allows us to do so many things for so long. It's not an ongoing forever thing. People have to be discharged at some point when they're feeling better and they're given the tools to go. So I love the fact that we help heal, we prevent, we help with the prevention, but we also empower people to have tools. The tools are very important because we don't want them to learn to depend on us. We want them to be able to do for themselves. That's what we call success. So for those who donate, and maybe the next time you see a newsletter from the Children's Center, we're asking for money. Would like to clarify that we're not asking for the money to treat the same people that we treated 20 years ago or 5 years ago. We empower them to fly and we celebrate their success, right? It's important to be able to say that, we meet them sometimes as young adults. We have a youth program now. We have a youth department where those who have come through here, or they didn't get to see us as children, they can still engage with us as young males and females. They are growing up in life, they are trying to make choices. Some of them, life dealt with to them whatever um, they didn't choose for themselves, their circumstances, right? And so they're trying to make good decisions, but there's no uncle present in their lives or mom present in their lives. We get to be the parents. We join with the rest of the staff to and our volunteer base to answer those questions or to point them in the right direction. And so we keep engaging them even as um, young adults, as youth who are trying to get back to college, determine what career they need, learn a job skill so that they are not unhoused, when they come out of foster care or stay that way. So I like how we give them tools to be able to get on their feet and do well. In fact, we have some amazing success stories we're so thankful for. Some who were here asking for a meal, some were asking for blankets and socks. Now they work with a county department. That is success in my book, especially as a mom. That makes me feel very happy that we have young people who are going to succeed us in this thing we do because we want to give them the tools. We want to make sure they have the heart and they have the skills so they can keep the work going. I always say when I no longer work here and I need my social security check, I want to make sure the people up there are people that we touch one way or the other and they are nice when I come in there and I ask for my little check. We're sowing seeds in so many ways. And so for the youth department, when they are ready, sometimes when they just need someone to talk, you know, science shows that sometimes all what youth needs to succeed is one supportive adult. And if we can be that supportive adult that says, you got this, you can do this, we do hold them accountable, just like we hold each other accountable. We have to deliver. It's not cheap. It's a very expensive investment that the community and the county and the federal government and our donors are making available. And so we take our responsibilities seriously to empower, to celebrate, to equip, and to make sure that when we're no longer here, we have raised people, both within the workforce and from the client population, to be able to keep our society going. So that expanded vision is that's where we are right now. It's a huge responsibility, and we are honored to serve in that capacity. So I just love the opportunity to help people understand what we're doing behind closed doors here. Even though we cannot put names in front of you or put people, children in front of you because it's confidential, but we're super excited to be able to support people in their journey where we meet them. We don't judge who did this and why did that happen. We just want to make things better once they meet us. That's our hope.
We just continue to do like what she said, the future with her leadership, and it's just an honor to have an executive director that have that vision and that kind heart. And we will continue to provide quality service and like what she said, not just because we are here, and we want to make sure it doesn't hurt to be kind, right? And we'll continue to have that quality of service with kindness and empathy. And for me, a little self-disclosure is I used to be a transitional age youth. I had lived in my car. I was announced. I think that's why it's so important to do outreach that CCAV does, that be known in the community. Because if I was that person that lived in my car at that time, and I didn't know that there were drop-ins and the government had all these um, resources that provided to CBOs or community-based organizations that could help me, was a struggling college student, was trying to better myself. It would have been a great help, but luckily some religious organization took me in, adopted me, and I know you're a bishop also, and it's a big deal. And they took me in and rented a room, and that's why I started where kind of like adopted me. That's like a village, that's community, and that's why I'm here also. We all have disagreements with our family sometimes, but doesn't mean we're gonna do life alone, especially our transitional age youth. That we know that Human Center is here. We have our drop in, and that's continue gonna be there to based on our mission and our funding. So hopefully the community will still back us up, and our partners, the government, hopefully continue to assist us in helping our transitional age youth. That's
And I
my
just think that, it's beautiful that since I started, what we were doing versus what we're doing now, 11 years later, the vision has transcended.
mhm.
And that's the beauty of it, because it can transcend to the different generations, whoever's coming and leaving,
Yeah.
right? And like your story, right? There can be a youth going through the same thing that you went through.
Yeah.
And now we have a youth center, right? So before the resources weren't there,
Mhm.
now they're there. So I feel that it's humbling, right? It humbles you. It brings you back into what your calling is and your values are. So it continues to be very rewarding in the role that I am in, even though we're in the back scene of the things and not me directly. But it's nice to hear the different success stories when we go into the youth center and look at the youth that are there, and they're having a meal, a very delicious,
Yes.
nutritious meal, by the way.
Nutritious, quality.
Very
Right?
Come
intense.
visit.
So it's very nice to see the work that we're doing and everything that we're asking on our end, right, with the donors or with the county, because these youth really need it. They do. They come here, they don't even know where to start, and that's where we have our peers or our case managers navigate them, intake
Yeah.
them, and say, okay, let's start with this, and then we can step by step. But it's very comforting to see all the different resources that we can give the youth and the children, right? And it's just a little beacon, right? The beacon that we're lighting up, and then we want to continue to light it for the remaining 50 years that we're here.
mention, and I know you would remember most of them, some of the partners that we work with. We've mentioned the donors, we've mentioned the county and the federal. There are other community partners that work with us in this
And
space,
volunteers.
and
Wow.
volunteers. So that some of the agencies that we've worked with, um, because not one agency, there's no one agency that does it all. Nor should there be. I don't think so. You could be in your area of expertise, and you shine there, but reach across the aisle to other agencies that are experts at different things. And we're finding out what our children and the youth and our community need.
Yeah.
And so we're inviting the partners that are good at those things, and maybe mention some that we have or some we've had over the years. If you could, you
So
might
then I think
remember.
with this expansion, right, of not just only doing the mental health, we have the opportunity to have partners on board with us.
Mhm.
If it's been medical partners such as BARTS, but
Mhm.
or current partners that we have right now, such as GOBA, who help the youth
Yeah.
with digital content and marketing, right?
Mhm.
So new trends that are going on that the youth might be attracted and might want to engage in. Or we have Fostering Dreams, who's
Mhm.
our dance partner. We have those young children from 11 to 15 that maybe want to explore dance and explorative arts, right? And then we also have our long-standing partner, Olive Support Services, that has been with us for over 10 years, and everything that they do, from life skills to anger management to domestic violence, now even therapy for adults, to tutoring, to STEAM, all of those additions are the ones that or make our programming more engaging and more stable, because now they know that at CCAV we don't only do therapy,
Mhm.
but we also can offer all of these different engagement or these supportive activities, right? That still revolve around awareness and mental health and well-being, right? But now we're talking about art, but we're still talking about mental health.
Correct.
Or we're dancing, but we're still promoting and we're still talking about how important mental health is
Correct.
in that cycle, right? So yeah, they are yes, thank you for that. They're very important in what we've been doing over the past 10 years and expanding the services.
And I want to give honor also for the first executive director, Esther Gillis.
Yes.
She's one of those pioneers also that I believe that started when Children's Center was being open. And from then on, Esther Gillis to Sue Page, right? And which is a great executive director and that's why we call Sue Page
Youth
Drop
Center.
Youth Center. And she's been have all this vision, and it's an honor to be mentored by her,
Yes.
us, and to continue this legacy, talking about future, that we're gonna pass that on to the future professional who's gonna take the helm at CCAV. So it's the legacy of the founders and the community will live on, and to help our community, which are gonna be our future always, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I just really thought we should at least say a few things about the village around us. We are supporting community members, but we are also being supported by all these other agencies, some of them local and some of them from afar. But the specialty they bring, like Michelle said, sometimes you wonder. I've heard some parents say, I took my child to therapy and the therapist was just playing with my child. There's more to that. It may look like they're playing, or it may look like they're drawing, or it may look like they're wasting time dancing. Is this what I paid for? It's You're actually getting more than you paid for. When they add these things, there are so many things that are happening in the brain. There's a connection that you have no idea about. And so when society lied to us and said, don't take life seriously, don't laugh, don't play, go do your work, go do all of it together, very important. And that's why we try to educate people to say the times you're talking with your therapist, that's, yes, traditional therapy, but there's non-traditional where they're laughing and playing, they're shooting hoops, and it looks like they're wasting time. All of these things happen around here, and there are some experts in these areas that have become partners with us to help us engage the children, the parents, the youth, and a lot of things are happening. I do want to say, whatever tools you have, keep using those healthy tools. Don't think only therapy or only when you see the doctor, all of that. we want to use these opportunities to also empower our community, our audience, to say sometimes your laughter, you're going to the gym, you're being a part of a group, family, a spiritual group, like you mentioned, the church stepped in to help. It's important having community connections, learning to cook together, walking on a journey together. These things are all part of the well-being of a person, and especially in this month of May, as we celebrate mental health awareness, we're trying to put the information out there that it's not only when you take medication or when you talk with a talk therapist, but it's when you laugh and you run and you go outdoors and you breathe and you walk and you just check on a friend. There's a whole thing now on social media about check on your strong friends, because many times some of us who are caregivers or who are parents or leaders, we do for a lot of people and we don't show that we're human, which is one of the reasons why we're doing this. We're real people. We have our own aces. We deal with our own struggles,
Our
but
own trauma.
with our own
Yes.
trauma, but we don't waste our pain. Don't let the pain end your story. Let it be
Make it
a
a
part of your
strength.
story. Turn it into a strength. Make it a message. Encourage people. Celebrate it. In doing that, you find yourself. And so, meaning for me, life for me, joy for me, success for me is everybody around me doing well. And I get to celebrate them. They're laughing. We're talking in the hallway. People are not scared to say hello or hug somebody. Take care of yourself as we are teaching every day. Don't say I'm done with my treatment and I've been discharged, so goodbye. Take care of yourself. Do those skills because we're doing it even as leaders today.
And a little salutations to our board. I think I mentioned
Yes.
our board. They work for free.
Yes.
They don't get paid, our board
Yes.
members. I'm going to mention
Thank you.
some of their names. They're volunteers, and these are
Yes.
professionals
Absolutely.
and business owner that continues the legacy of the founders. So first is Mike Hernandez. He works for Learn for Life. He's our current president.
Absolutely.
And who is our vice president right now?
Josh Ginsberg.
Josh
Josh.
Ginsberg, who owns DigiView.
Yes.
And our treasurer,
Treasurer is
Yes.
Lori Fisher.
Lori Fisher, Coldwell Banker.
Mhm.
Lori Fisher's been a lifelong. The
Mhm.
family's been a big supporter of CCAV for many years, and her dad was the founder, one of the
Yes.
founder of CCAV. Then we have attorney Alex Masari,
Mhm.
was a lawyer
Mhm.
locally also, and
Sam.
Sam,
Is our secretary.
Sam Schmidt, the owner of Lucky
Lucky
Luke
Luke.
Brewery.
Yeah.
And we have Joe Acosta, Mr.
Yep.
Joe Acosta. We love you too.
Yeah.
And owner of Karen's Kitchen, a local businessman also, and he has some business also in Ventura County.
Yeah.
And Miss Deborah,
Deborah.
yes,
Yeah.
retired teacher. So we have this diverse board members that kind of like and hired this person, this wonderful person here that's
Thank you.
leading Children's Center to be our executive director, and you could see the sparks that's going in and the light that's coming out, emanating from CCAV to be this lead pillar of the community. So we want you guys to continue to support us. We
Yes.
appreciate it. And this is episode 1.
Yes.
It's a wrap.
Yes. Thank you.